Yo, what's going down with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls, and of course, as always, otakus and inkikomori's out. This is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Sony Free 2011, aka Mania, where reading, of course, you guys are most interested in this channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that other good stuff. And today, actually, not even about a day ago, probably, like it says here, a day ago, a little bit of sad, unfortunate news for all my Sony PS4 and even old school Sony PlayStation fanboys and fangirls or fan guys like me out there that either grew up with the console or just barely picking it up from PS3, which is probably a little bit more my younger audience. But anyways, this one from Games Radar. I got both of these from my not my Twitter account, but from the timeline I was looking through about a day and a half ago, hours earlier. I don't have the tweet for it, but if I find it, I'll leave it down below. So it says, why Sony canceled PSX 2018, what it could mean. Well, shout out to, giving credit is due, shout out to Sam Prell for making this article here. I think it's a little bit of a lengthy article, maybe. Alright, it's not too bad. No, it's pretty decent. I haven't read both these articles at all. Actually, no, one of them I did. This one is Nintendo related and Sony related. I haven't put both of these consoles together in a little while, or these competitors together in a while. So it says, from Nintendo Switch, Ryan Craddock. I've seen this dude's name a shit ton of times on this website. So shout out to him for making it. Wednesday, so this is about 3 days ago, maybe longer by the time I upload this video, which is probably going to be tomorrow, Sunday. So it says Sakurai, however you want to pronounce it, excuse me, warned Smash Bros. Fans that a new character reveals, will slow down from now on. So chill your beans. So I'm gonna get to that one second. So it says why we wouldn't have enough, we wouldn't have enough to justify events. Says Sony chairman, CEO. So anyway, I don't know. Is that one CEO? I don't know. It's not Yoshida Takayama or whatever his last name is, but the one for Sony in Japan, but Sony of American Entertainment. Is that dude that wore that Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro shirt about a year or two ago because he was teasing everyone that a remastered and remake was coming out at that time? It might be the dude. I always forget his name, but I remember his chubby little face. He looks a little bit like that dude Paul Giamatti. And speaking of which, I don't really watch a lot of mainstream media music or mainstream media late night talk shows, but I decided to watch a little bit of it because I was watching this dude Paul Giamatti, the dude that was. I remember I watched it about 20 times when the movie came out in like 2015, straight out of Compton. And he was like the sleazy bastard fucking prick, whatever the fuck his name was in there, for Ruthless Records. He ended up screwing over Eazy-E and DJ Yella and Dr. Dre, the ones that were portraying them, not the real ones. But it probably was based on a true story. Half of it was, from what I heard. And there was no way in hell I was going to go to the movie theaters to see that, because not to be like, sound like a bigot or anything towards black people or anything, or African Americans, but man, I know my shit would have got jumped really fucking fast if I would have went in that theater. Fuck that noise. But anyways, I was just gonna wait until like 5 or 6 months later, so it came on Blu-ray DVD to watch it like that in the comfort and safety of my own fucking home. So no offense to anyone that's African American and black out there. I'm just letting you know. But anyways, let's get on to this thing over here. Yeah. And he's making another movie on Netflix too. So I was like, guy's a funny ass fucking dude. I remember the first time I saw Paul Giamatti, not to get too off track, but I think it was in the Private Parts movie, like that had something about Howard Stern. That was like the first movie I saw him in. And in this little kids movie a long time ago, way back in the days when like Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz was really big. I think it was called The Blue Man. I think it were the very first 2 movies I saw him in. And after that, I don't know. He's like, I don't want to say he's like an A-rank celebrity. He's more like a C-rank celebrity. But he was always a really fucking cool-ass guy, in my opinion. Even though he played the bad guy a couple of times, and the other times he kind of played a little bit innocent. So yeah, let's begin. So it says PlayStation Experience. An E3-like gaming convention dedicated to all things PlayStation will be skipping 2018. That's what his name was. Sony chairman Sean Layden. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Paul Giamatti a little bit. Confirmed the news on the PS blogcast, saying that it wasn't enough to docket to justify putting the events together this year. And as his own quotation marks, quote unquote, now that we have Spider-Man out the door, we're looking down into 2019 to games like Dreams and Days Gone, but we wouldn't have enough to bring people all together in the same location in North America to have that event. We don't want to set expectations really high and then not deliver on it. It was a hard decision, but we have determined this year we will not hold the PlayStation experience. Ah, man, that hurt me a little bit in the feels when I first heard about this the other day. To get off track a little bit. Oh, man, that means they're not going to do it in the movie theaters either, man. Or all you guys over there in the UK and some parts of Europe and Australia, they call it the cinemas. Because I remember in Spanish it's called La Película, so the movie theaters over there. Well, over here they either call it like in the theaters or out in the theaters and whatever you want to call it, in the megapixels, however you want to haul any of those fucking locations or establishments. So, yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's see. There is, of course, another reason Sony could be choosing to forego the festivities this year. It could be focusing on its efforts of the PlayStation 5, which I was thinking the exact same thing before I read this article, which I haven't read it yet. Now, keep in mind that the system has not been confirmed. No prototype dev kits with fancy code names have been leaked, and Sony has been tight-lipped on its plans for the future. However, looking at a few trends and some insider knowledge, it's not so wild with an idea. For starters, we have the industry and analysts like Michael Patcher speculating that we'll see the PS5 in 2019 or 2020. That will mean a total lifespan of 6 to 7 years for the PS4, which arrives on store shelves in 2013. Which arrived in store shelves in 2013. I thought it was 2012 when it was released. Oh, no, wait. Thinking about the Wii U. And that console's dead already. It's all about Switch now. And no offense to any of the PC Master Race fans out there. You know, you guys got your nice-ass high graphics HD, like 4K Ultra graphics on your beautiful-ass fucking screens. So, let's keep it moving. So it says, that's right. That's right in the line with the previous generations, with the PS3 having gone 7 years before being replaced, the PS2 surviving for 6 years, and the PS1 chugging along for 6. There's also the fact that we're starting to see games which are definitely coming to PS5 pop up. Games like Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, and Cyberpunk 2077, which I know a shitload of people are very, very hyped for this game, which fortunately I'm not, because I think that came for the PC way back. I think it was like 95 or 96. And at the time, I didn't even know what the fuck gaming was. But if it was 1996, I was 7. My first 2 consoles besides the PS1 was the handheld one, which is Game Boy Color, and then Super Nintendo Entertainment System, SNES. But I didn't have PC at the time, because unfortunately my family was way too poor to get like PC at the time, because I lived in the hood project. So fortunately I wasn't able to fucking experience that at that time until a little bit more later in my life, in my teen years. At the ripe age of fucking 13 at the time. That's when I started learning what the fuck the internet was. I knew about it a little bit here and there in 2000, 2001, but it was in 2002 is when I started getting immersed in the internet. So it says Cyberpunk 2077 are all years away at this point, but people are clearly hungry for them. Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red even hinted that its futuristic dystopia RPG will be coming to the next-gen consoles. For now, it's just speculation to be taken with a good pinch of salt. But it does seem Sony is winding down on this generation and gearing up for the next. And hey, if PSX 2018's cancellation has got you down, just think. By this time next year, you may have a whole new generation of games to be excited for. And it's a little like, I guess, catchphrase or quote here. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions, the only 2 things I'm going to be giving my full, not enraged thoughts on it. I'm actually not upset that Sony did this. I'm glad that they canceled the event because that way they could have a little bit more time and effort, have a lot less bugs and glitches and less fucking hacker internet problems, or not getting DDoS on the fucking internet for Sony, or getting hacked or any of those certain situations. Maybe they'll clear that up when the PlayStation 5 is finally, for us, the consumers and the fans out there that love it the most, number 1. And number 2, second, fourth, is that, oh man, This gives a really, really big idea to give a lot more remasters. Like the ones I really want to see. The big four that I want to see personally myself is Parappa the Rapper, the Croc series, Gexa Gecko, and definitely fucking Ape Escape. I would love to see remasters on the PlayStation 5 for that, since we're more than likely not going to get it. Highly doubt we're getting it for the PS4. That's just how the fucking cookie crumbles. And a word of an amazing voice actor, amazing Hollywood actor used to grow up in the 90s with. So let's get on to some Nintendo news. So it says, whoa, I didn't want to go that far. So Ryan Craddock, that made this article, give him credit again. Come on. It says Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is still months away from the release. I gotta get a drink real quick. There we go. But we've been shown an incredible amount of content in the form of information, gameplay footage, and those juicy character reveals. The game's creator and the living legend, Masahiro Sakurai, has issued a word of warning, however, telling fans that the new character reveal won't continue to happen at the pace that we've come to expect. In his weekly Famitsu, however you want to pronounce that fucking word, column, Sakurai chose to talk about the recent events of Isabella reveals. And in particular, the way in which is revealed will be handled in future holds, he stated. That's from Daddy fucking Sakurai himself. Wink, wink, nudge, freaking nudge. Alright, hopefully this great man gives some of the ones I really fucking want. If any people don't know, it's ones like either Naruto, Goku, which I highly doubt is going to happen, Shadow the Hedgehog, Shantae, Crash, Spyro, and then I'm thinking of this on a long shot, either Minda or Fi from the Legend of Zelda series, Skyward Sword series, or the other series, what was it, Twilight Princess. Those two I could see happening, but I don't know about the rest. Oh, and I forgot about Rayman and then another one. I forgot who he was. Oh, fuck, who was he? Not Gexa Gecko, was another dude that I really, really, really fucking want on Smash. I highly doubt it's going to happen, but if it does, that would be freaking awesome. Isaac from Golden Sun. I know a lot of other people want him too, but those are my ones, my mains I really fucking want. It says, quote, we've announced that Isabella from the Nintendo Direct. However, it would be a big mistake to think that the new character announcements will keep going at this pace until Smash Bros. Ultimate releases. We may have been a little trigger happy, so we'll be living modestly from here on out, unquote. So far, we've seen a grand total of 9 new additions to the roster. And that on top of every single character has been in the series in previous games. We have 5 newcomers, Inkling, Ridley, Simon Belmont, King K. Rool, and Isabel. And they forgot about the other dude, too. I forgot what the other dude's name was, because I didn't really get to play that much Castlevania. I think I only played, the Game Boy Advance one, and that was pretty much it. Okay, so it says, and 4 Echo Fighters with Richter Belmont, that's what his name was. Dark Samus and Chrom, all joining the squad. When you think about it, dialing down the pace is probably a good idea. Interestingly enough, Sakurai-san also spoke about the game's current development statuses, noting that the game is also complete and ready to be shipped out. He mentions that, quote, it'll be complete in just a little longer or so we expect, unquote. That might have been roughly translated in English. I never heard nobody speak like that. So the big question is now, what can we expect to arrive into the games? We're happy enough as it is, if we're being honest, so any more characters added will just be a wonderfully happy bonus. I fail to disagree with that completely. I'm sorry. Not to be a biased prick, but that's how I'm seeing it. Make sure you share predictions in the comments below. Alright, so shout out to these two via their sources where they got their bit of news information from. Overall thoughts, views, and opinions. Really, I don't have that many things. Just to say, bring some more, bring more stage hazards to the game, Mr. Sakurai-san. Also, bring a lot more extra music. I know you have an ass load of music on the Smash Bros. Series, but I want to see more. I'm just saying. And bring the characters I want. Any one of out of the 7 or 8 that I mentioned that I really want, I will be a happy fucking camper, satisfied. And that's it. Peace out once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fangirls, always. Talk to Nikki communities out there. I'll see you when I see you guys. Good day, have a good night, wherever you're at around the universe out there. I'm drinking my wood at the same time, don't take the reckless. Stay tuned with future article session reviews, including anime, manga news, video gaming news, and any other news, internet news. Late and goodbye. I'll see you on the flip side.